Welcome to the construction of the easy-to-assemble garden crate wagon. Before you begin, unpack the contents of the shipment and inventory the parts. Refer to the instruction manual that shipped with your wagon to ensure that all parts are present. For the best results, assemble the wagon on a flat and level surface. First, assemble the front axle. Attach the tie bar to the front axle support using 2 short hex head bolts, flat washers, and lock nuts to secure the tie bar. Be sure to position the tie bar on top of each front axle link. Do not over-tighten the bolts. Next, remove the cotter pin and flat washer from the steering yoke mounting stud. Take the steering yoke, slide it into position, and insert the mounting stud through the yoke hole. Carefully flip the assembly and secure the yoke into the mounting stud using the flat washer and the cotter pin. Turn the assembly over. Take the front axle brace, align the bolt holes, and install a hex head bolt, flat washer, and lock nut to secure the components. The hex head bolt for this connection is longer than those used to secure the tie bar at each end. Be sure to choose the correct bolt. Finally, install the remaining short hex head bolt to complete the assembly. Tighten the bolts. To ensure that the steering linkage is free to allow the wagon to turn, tighten each bolt until snug and then loosen 1/4 to 1/2 turn. Washers should remain snug against the linkage, but should not rattle. Check the operation and adjust bolts as needed. Carefully place the wagon bed on a flat surface so both the bottom and inside can be accessed. Take the axle assembly and place it on the wagon bed and align the mounting holes. Insert 2 panhead bolts through the bed and through the mounting holes of the axle assembly. Add the washers and the lock nuts and then tighten. Use a screwdriver to hold the bolt head as you tighten the bolts, and do not over-tighten. Next, insert 2 panhead bolts through the bed and front axle brace, add washers and lock nuts, and tighten. In this step, attach the rear axle and rear axle braces to the wagon bed. First, align the rear axle mounting holes with the mounting holes of the bed and insert 2 panhead bolts. Add the washers and lock nuts and then tighten. With the rear axle secure, remove the wheel nuts and washers from the rear axle. Slide a rear axle brace onto the axle. Position the brace so the mounting hole at the end of the brace aligns with the mounting hole in the wagon bed. Verify that the wheel spacer attached to the brace is to the outside and install the remaining axle brace. Install a panhead bolt through the bed and brace and add the washers and lock nut. Install the remaining mounting bolt, washer, and lock nut and tighten both bolts. Next, take the handle and coupler, determine the desired handle position, and align the mounting holes of the 2 components. Slide the handle and coupler onto the steering yoke. Align the holes of all components and insert the long hex head bolt through the holes. Add the flat washer and lock nut and then tighten. The handle and the coupler should travel freely without binding in the yoke. Tighten or loosen the bolt to achieve the desired result. Finally, attach the wagon wheels. Before installing the wheels, remove the remaining axle nuts and washers from the front axles. Take one wheel, position the valve stem toward the outside, and slide the wheel onto the axle. Take one washer, slide it onto the axle, and add the lock nut. Tighten the nut until snug. Repeat these steps to install the remaining wheels. Verify that all valve stems are to the outside. After installation, check tire pressure in all tires and adjust as needed. Return to all bolts and check to ensure they are tight. Carefully turn the wagon onto its wheels. To convert the handle into a trailer hitch, remove clip and hitch pin. Separate the handle from the wagon tongue and store the handle. Use the hitch pin and clip to attach the tongue to a lawn tractor. Reattach the wagon handle to the wagon tongue when needed. Next, locate the rails for the wagon bed. The long side rails are identical and can be installed on either side of the wagon bed. Take one side rail and insert the extensions into the mounting holes along one side of the wagon bed. The slanted part of the side rail can be set at the front or toward the back of the trailer bed, depending on the use. Repeat the steps to install the remaining rails. After installing the rails, set the basket in the bed in the desired location. Basket handles set on the lip of the wagon bed or the installed side rails. Enjoy your new garden crate wagon. And if you have any questions, please contact our customer service department at 1-800-245-9881.